Welcome to The Power of Presence, an hour dedicated to helping you improve relationships with those around you, and in turn, helping to improve your life. Your hosts for The Power of Presence are renowned talk show host Mike Siegel and Lynn Taylor, president of Taylor Protocols Incorporated. Now, here are Mike and Lynn.
Well, then let's go from that point to where these guys now have this revelation about who they are because of the Core Values Index. And then you come in and help them to apply that to themselves and actually improve themselves. Now let's talk about the connection to the company. What specific, concrete changes occurred that led to a more productive, more viable, more successful company as a result of these leaders knowing who they were?
Yeah, well, what I really want to focus on here, I'm just going to focus on some of the actual quantitative outcomes.
Yep.
And I'll tell you a little bit about some of the specifics, because there was a whole range of specific activities that happened. But, for example, with this organization, again, being a distribution company, one of their key metrics is percentage on-time deliveries. Okay? So that went from 94.5% to 97.3%. That is a very big improvement in a distribution company. So statistically speaking, that's a big deal when you can get that kind of a change. Their number of missed deliveries went down dramatically, okay, by about 4%. The invoices delivered per day actually went up by 17%. So that's a great measure of productivity, right? Like how many items are getting delivered each day.
Do you think that it was because employees had a different system created by these presidents, and therefore they felt more comfortable and more committed and immersed in the company? Or was it because there were changes in the employees themselves that occurred that caused them to be more committed to this? Which way did it happen, from top to bottom or from bottom to top?
Well, it really happened both ways, but one of the things that I've come to believe over my years in business is everything starts at the top, right? So through these individuals getting more self-insight and awareness, and by having a greater understanding of how they can show up in different situations using different core values energies, all kinds of new brainstorm ideas, improvement ideas started to happen. All kinds of new ways to increase efficiency started to be brought to the table. And so back to our earlier example, Mike, we talked about the fellow that used the tool to learn how to connect better with his people. So that's an example of somebody shifting into that merchant energy, right? Well, one of the truths about the core value index and fully maximizing our effectiveness as individuals from a core values energy perspective is understanding this very simple rule. And that rule is that there's always one core value energy that's best to be in any situation. And the corollary to that is that we can only ever be one core value energy at one point in time. And so back to your question about what actually happened, one of the things that happened was that, they started having team meetings, right? More team meetings to talk about, well, what are some of the issues we're dealing with, right? So these leaders were able to sort of articulate a vision of, hey, there's an opportunity here to improve. And then they were able to engage other people in that conversation. And that's where some of these great improvement ideas came from that were ultimately implemented.
And so they actually made a change in the corporate culture for the employees that led to the changes in the success of the company you're describing.
Yeah, that's a great way to summarize it exactly. And the only thing I'll kind of add to that is implicit in it all was everybody's inspiration level went up. And again, back to the notion of discretionary effort, because really, in my view, that's one of the tangibles or one of the outcomes of more inspiration. You get more discretionary effort. You get, ingenuity. You get all kinds of positive downstream impacts.
Gary, I thank you very much for being with us. It's great to talk to you, and we'll look forward to having you back on the program. You've explained this beautifully, and continued success to you, too.
You've been listening to The Power of Presence. Your hosts have been talk show host Mike Siegel and Lynn Taylor, president of Taylor Protocols Incorporated.